Hello, hello, hello. It's that time of the week again. I haven't been online in a couple of days, but that's actually it's been a week already. I picked up a lot of extra shifts and therefore I haven't had the energy to join the live for quite some time, but we have to get this project going. No matter what, because Christmas is approaching, whether we want it or not. So that's just how it is. So here you can see that we've made some progress. We have arrived to the lettering, and let me check you the. So the next round will be number 119 out of 300. So we've been on to this project for a couple of months already, not exclusively. So I've skipped even weeks that I haven't done anything with it. Last week being one of them, and this week another one, because, well, you need time to do this, and you also need energy, and you also need motivation to do it. And yep, we are heading to Halloween, and therefore we have ditched the original Moomin mug theme, and we are going with a ghost mug this time. And yeah, we will head right in as soon as I find my crochet hook, which I had once in my hand already, but I displaced it somewhere, so you can stare my work while I find it. Here you can see the lettering as well. I must have dropped it. Where is my hook? Unbelievable. You can trust me to lose something I just had in my hand. Number 3. I think we're gonna take just another style then. Found it. It was in my bed. Because I changed my shirt before I started. That's me. Yeah, so what we're doing, just getting forward with the project. We are heading to row number 119, as I said, and right now we are closing the pink flower, which means that there's only, I think, a couple of rows left. It's almost ready. Then we have the lettering at the moment, which is gonna be, as it is, a Fleetwood Mac logo, so this will be the Mac of the logo. And then we have the orange flower we're finishing as well, so we are past the midpoint of it. And then yeah, then after these flowers, the orange one and the pink one, we are mostly doing the letters, so it will be black, white and yellow. A bit boring maybe, but if you are here to see the technique I'm using, this is the best point to join. And this will show the color changes and stuff I do, and it will be easier to follow when we have a little less color than what we had previously when we had all the flowers going on. So yeah, the basics are that I'm using cotton, and more specifically Hobby Friends Cotton 8/4. This is 100% cotton, and it is fine, super fine actually, number 1 yarn. I know you can barely see it, number 1. And as you can see, it's recommended to 3 to 3.5 millimeters. I have 3. I like to work with 3. And yeah, all the other information, it's cotton, so it can be washed, but I doubt it will be, because it is a tapestry, so it will go on the wall of my daughter's room like a poster, but this is like more sophisticated poster, if I may say myself. And yeah, that's basically it. We can get to work. It's growing in size, so we have quite a lot of it done at this point, and I'm excited to see it come together because it looks brilliant. And it's my first ever tapestry project, and as I am ambitious with my projects, sometimes a bit too much, it means that it's a super huge one. So it is 300 rows times 260 stitches, and it means that this is like 80,000 stitches almost, the whole work. So it's a monster, but it helped me fall in love with tapestry, and I do like how it looks, and therefore I have a couple of a little bit smaller and not maybe as ambitious as this one project in mind, which I can then film as a tutorial. I did not make tutorial about this one because it's my first one, and I don't think I have the expertise to tell others how to do it. And therefore, well, this is just my test piece, if that can be said. And this test piece is turning out great, which means I've learned something, and I still learn things with the tapestry every time I crochet with this. And yeah. Now we can just get to work. And as last time explained, and if you haven't seen the previous videos, I might forget to say something. So if you have any questions, you can visit the last tutorial / live / discussion sessions. But in general, I work only from right to left with this project. It helps me with counting the stitches and placing them correctly. So I think this is the easiest way of doing crochet tapestry. Complicated, but for me, I'm fine with it. So we will just keep going with that one. And I am also doing back loop only and yarn under rather than yarn over. I did a couple of test pieces with the tapestry, and I decided that the look I was after was yarn under. The difference was not that big, to be honest. So it's not like super big difference, but as I wanted to be perfect, as per usual, my style, perfectionism, I think that this was a bit more neat. It creates this like lines in the work, as you can see, but for me it was according to the aesthetics I was going after. And it could as well be done with the whole stitch. I don't see any restrictions, and it could also be worked back and forth like a normal tapestry. Oh, thank you for the follow. Hi Mary, how's your day? The kids are doing Halloween decorations outside as we speak. We have the trick or treat going on tomorrow. So I popped here in the live to let them sort it out themselves. We also did some pumpkin carving actually last week. Do I sound like a lovely person? Well, thank you. I don't know how a lovely person sounds like. But I do like to think that at least I'm not mean or anything like that. So yeah, we are in full Halloween mode, even though I'm crocheting a Christmas gift at the moment, but you know what I mean. So we are doing a lot of black and white at the moment with the work. And I have the picture I'm doing, like the grid of it in front of me. in my computer. The black yarn I have is different from the others. It's even a bit finer than the rest of it, and I wanted to be like that because I wanted the black to like blend in the background. So that was my like ultimate goal with this one. Would I make the same decision right now if I was to do this again? Probably not, because this yarn is so annoying to work with. And also I don't necessarily like to work with black at all, because it keeps it's very hard to see the stitches, so I need a lot of light. And I also at some point of the work skipped one black one, and it almost messed up the whole thing, but I was able to fix it. I think that's where I ended the stream last time, because I lost it. I was so mad at myself for making that mistake, even though I know the black is a tricky one. I have to pay attention. I still skipped one. And it's very easy to skip one with a very thin yarn and small hook and black. It's like, it's just not my favorite. Also, if one was to make this with a big thicker yarn and thicker hook, you could also like end up with a very large project that it could be a blanket size easily. And if blanket size is what you are after, I would recommend something to go with maybe number 5 hook. So it would like double, triple the size of this. Also, working from back loop only and makes it a bit smaller as well. So if I was to use the full stitch, it would be a bit bigger project. But I am happy with the size of this right now, because it is more like the standard big poster size, a bit bigger than that, but not much. So it will be great. So the back side looks like this. So it's a lot of yarn going here and there, but I am planning to add a backing to this, meaning that it will be covered, because I have no reason to weave in the ends with this type of project, as it is going to hang on a wall, so I don't have to. But if I wanted to, I could. But at least I don't have the mental capability of doing something like that. I need pink. And I am also floating a lot of yarn back and forth because I don't want to cut everything. But this is the pink flower we're doing right now. Yeah, it would be thousands and thousands of ends to weave in, and it is not something I am happy to do, so we were not doing it, and that's my choice. I know there are people that think that it should always be done, but if I'm doing something that I'm about to wear and wash, then I would do it. But because I'm not doing that with this piece, I'm also not weaving in the ends. I will just make some nice knots to keep them in place, and that's about it. And then we'll also go to color changes and attaching the colors. I'm just changing the yarn. I'm not doing any trickery here. So no knots, nothing. Just bringing in the new yarn. And it's been working fine so far, so I don't see any changes coming to it. And that's the beauty of this project, I would say. It's very simplistic. Only thing it takes is a lot of time. So it takes a lot of time. And I think that's the only downfall of it. Oh yeah, and I forgot to say that we're starting a yellow flower as well, which will be the only flower we'll be working in a while. So we have the yellow coming in here, which I have attached here. So I'm just gonna float it here, so I can bring it back to play, so to say. You're making 3 black ones. A yellow one. And then 2 black ones again. I can't wait for this to be ready so I can hang it up, and then we can actually see how it looks. Hello, Easterbrook. How was your day today? I have a day off, and as I said, I've been offline for quite a bit because I've had a lot of work to do. I picked up some extra shifts, and I've just been so tired, and I haven't even dreamt of doing anything YouTube or TikTok related in like 2 weeks. But here we are today. I have a day off and the kids are getting ready for Halloween. Tomorrow is the trick-or-treating, and being in Ireland, the Halloween is of course a huge thing, like a huge one. So yesterday I purchased a lot of like Halloween candies to give out for the kids that will come at our door. And how we do it is that one of us parents leaves the house with the kids to go trick-or-treating, and the other one stays in to make sure that those that who come at our door will have candy as well. And then we change in between. It's almost the perfect place to learn English as well. Like YouTube lives and having like conversation in English. English is not my main language either. I'm from Finland, meaning that I mostly spoke Finnish my whole life. Of course, I've learned English at school, and now when we live in Ireland, it's what I mostly speak. Except at home, of course. But yeah, we go out one after another So my husband takes care of half of the round the kids are gonna make, and I take care of the other half. And it seems to me that the neighborhood really enjoys trick-or-treating. So a lot of people are prepared for it, and they like to give up a lot of candies and stuff to kids. Perhaps even a bit too much. Like, I took some pictures last year with the kids and the candies, and they had tons of it. Like, they lived off of candies like a week after that. And it's also, of course, this week is a holiday from school. So they can fully enjoy the Halloween season. Unfortunately, us adults don't have holidays. I used all of my holidays during summer, which on the hindsight may not be the cleverest thing to do, but I really needed those weeks off. I do love Ireland, and that's why we're here. That's like, it feels like home. It's not perfect, but nothing is. So, and people tend to ask that why would someone leave Finland? It's also like one of those things that, yeah, it might seem perfect, but it's far from that. So there's no paradise on earth anywhere, so you just have to pick what suits you the best. But I enjoy winterless winter here, so I don't miss snow at all. I don't need snow. I can watch pictures of it, it's beautiful, but when you have to live with it, it stops being beautiful. When you have to get rid of like a meter of snow before you can get to work with your car, it stops being fun, it stops being beautiful at that exact point. And I mean, someone from Ireland could move to Finland and find that it's their home there, so it's not... People are different, and that's completely fine. And there's a lot of countries. Algeria. Is that pronounced correctly? I don't know how they pronounce it. I've never been to Algeria. I'm not sure, sorry. It's my Finnish pronunciation fighting with my English one. Good. Good enough, at least. I would very much like to visit. Not just visit, but like, I find it the best way to explore the world might be the way where you actually live in a country. So you have to get to know the things in it, rather than just the beaches and the malls and the tourist attractions. But there are many countries in Europe I'm very interested in visiting long term. But I will have to wait until the kids are leaving the nest. Because of course schools are very important at that age. And they have to finish school first. So I'm a bit hesitant when we moved here, we had some countries on the list that could be a possibility, but it came down to the fact that the school has to be good and in English, because we felt like introducing too many languages to kids is a bit hard, and if the language is something I don't speak, it's even harder. So we decided that the English speaking country, it has to be, or doesn't has to be, but like it was limited to English or Swedish, and Swedish is something my husband doesn't speak. So therefore I just decided that the English it is. And now we are moving to the orange flower. And we lived in Ireland, Northern Ireland before. We moved here. Now we live in South. Mainly because of our friend Brexit. So we cannot move to UK without a visa, even though we're from Finland. So it's a bit hard task to do at the moment, and I think it's a bit unstable maybe after Brexit as well. I think Scotland is like my dream destination, but I have to wait. Maybe if we spend 5 years in Ireland, we can get the Irish citizenship, and then we can move to UK. I think without visa, at least at this point. Don't know how the things will progress in the near future. But in the meanwhile, I will just limit my UK experiences as visits as a tourist. 5 black ones. 2, 3, 4, and 5. And then back to orange. I think I need a bit more light so you can see what I'm doing. It's getting like more autumn dark outside. It's just 4 p.m. at the moment, and it's not dark, but it's not light either, so there's not light like coming in anymore. And now we have the orange one, black one, orange one, black one streak here with this flower. The next picture I'm making, I will make sure that I don't have these type of things. Just 2 black ones. Because I feel like it's not completely visible at the end work when I do these changes. Like that. Well, I think it's quite good in these color combinations, but with the white and black ones you don't really see the change if you change in every two orange ones with every stitch. So it could be better if you had the same color for at least 2 stitches, so the lines would be more clear. than they are when you change with every stitch. We are again floating the white yarn in. So we have some white things going on here. One, 2, 3, and 4. And after this round we will take some coffee. So if you have any questions about the work or anything, I'm happy to see those. And if you want to share what project you have going on at the moment, I'm more than happy to hear. I'm always looking for inspiration for the next project. My daughter asked for a froggy hat, a beanie that is a frog themed. I've been looking for inspiration for that one. Not sure yet what I will go with, but it remains to be seen. Where is my white one? So the attaching I do is just I place the old yarn and the new color and the old color just one by each other, and then I keep going as if I was using that yarn already. So I don't make any knots, I don't make slip knots or any other joining techniques there might be. I just keep going, and that's because there's so many yarn and color that if I do that it will drive me crazy, and this has been good enough. So not perhaps the correct way of doing it, but I don't give a F because it's working and it looks just the way I want it to look. It's not the most secure way of attaching a new color in the middle of the row, but as I said, this work is a wall hanging decoration. It's not a blanket, it's not an item that is gonna be heavily used. It will be just hanging on the wall, so it's fine. If you're doing other sorts of color work, perhaps you should consider other techniques, but if you're doing something like this, it's fine. And the last stitch of the row, I make a full... Where's my scissors? There. I use the full stitch, both loops, just to make sure that I get the last one and it stays like clean. And when the row is finished, I will cut everything I don't need next round. I need black, but it will start from the beginning. So I always cut the black one because it will be floated throughout the work. Then I do tie it up. If I have a friendly yarn nearby, I can use for the purpose, just so that they stay in place and they look good on both sides. Like this white one will stay, I will use it next round, so this orange one will, so I will just tighten them up a little bit. This one will be removed. This was the last round of the color of this one, so we can just remove it. And also I will remove it from the pile because I will not need it until we have another orange flower we're gonna work on, maybe 100 rows up from this one. This yellow, this orange will stay, it's part of the flower. This yellow will stay, it's part of this one we're doing here. And this yellow we will cut because we will then reattach it in the next round. So if I was to work in back and forth, this would be incorrect place to go that way, but we are not, so we are gonna cut it, but we will leave it there because we're gonna need it the next round. And I will just tie it up with the yarn from the last round just to secure it. Not too tight because then the loops are impossible to work. You will very fast learn how it is. What is the best way of doing it. This white yarn will stay, I will need it. This is where we attached the yellow one last time, so I will just tie it up with a yellow one from last round, just like at the other end, just to secure it and not too tight again. Then we have a white one that will stay, a yellow one that we will float back to this end. Soon it will be too wide, which means we will start cutting it, but not yet. This is a white, which we cut already because we transferred the white to the other end. And therefore we are tying it up to keep it secure. There is no unnecessary yarn here, so we will float the pink one back in this end. We think we have still row 120. We are getting close to the halfway mark, which will be 150 rows. So 120 will be the next one. There's still some pink in it, so we will keep it. These white ones we will tie to keep them nice and tidy. And then we have the black one we attached here and the white one we cut. So this one will be knotted together as well. Quite a many knots in this round, and that's because we have so large patches of colors we're doing that they will not continue to next round but will be cut. So, coffee break. As you can see, it's growing in size. There's multiple flowers, and the round, the black round that is the background of the logo is starting to form here, as you can see. It looks brilliant so far. I think that with the stitches I've used, it should be completely round, but it's a bit longer than it is wide at this design, but I have a feeling that I can fix that with a bit of moderate blocking, maybe a bit aggressive blocking if it is needed, but I don't think it is, so I will just wet this when it's ready and then I will block it to have the shape that I actually want. And I've been thinking about having those wooden sticks. I know there's a name for those, but I don't know it. The like round wooden sticks at the top and bottom of the work to make it more like a piece of art that is ready to be hanged rather than just hang it, because I think it would not look so nice. But I don't know yet. That's just a thing I have in my mind at the moment, that I might use those wooden sticks to like frame it, but not on the side, just the top and bottom, I think. But I don't know where I'm gonna. I checked the craft store I use, And I also checked Amazon. They don't have the long ones, so I may have to go to some maybe hardware store or something like that to have them. But I don't know yet. But I will find them from somewhere, I'm pretty sure. And there's like a place in the city center that frames artwork. So I might go there if I don't find anything else. I probably have to pay a lot for those services, but it is what it is. So, let me see. If you have any questions, please ask away. And we are moving on to the next round with the work. But as you can see, the colors are nice. I think a little bit that the orange flowers are a bit close to each other, so I may have maybe chosen another flower here, but I think that when it comes to the whole work, when it's ready, it will be balanced. And the text is coming together quite nicely. So I was a bit afraid of these places where I have only one stitch of black here and there, but I think it is visible enough to let you know that there is a change of letter going on in here. And everything always looks a little less nice when it comes to close-ups. So when it's on the wall, I highly think that no one is gonna look for the really small details of the work, except me, of course. I'm gonna see everything that's gone wrong wrong with the work, which is great that it's not going into my room, so I don't have to look at it. It's near perfect though, so I can't complain, but everyone who does any crafts knows that when you have your own work, you know every single mistake you made along the way, and perhaps not even mistake, but I think you don't like that much. The knot came through and I don't like that, so I'm gonna pull it back to the other side. I don't want to see it. This is one of the things what I'm talking about. Probably not visible, but visible enough for me. So when we're attaching at this end, we will go through the slip knot we did last round, and then we will chain one before we start the row. And that is because when we go only right to left, we are losing one stitch at the end every time. So we have to add that at the beginning of the row, otherwise our work will be fully slanted to the left, and that is not what we want. So where you lose a stitch, you need to add a stitch to keep it straight. I usually make 2 to 3 rows when I'm live. Thank you for the follow, Gongra79. Nice to see you here. And I will release the pattern, or not the pattern, but the grid of the work when this is fully done and I know it works, so you can do your own as well. If you are a fan of this band, I don't know their music or them too much, but it's the favorite of my daughter, so of course we are doing it. This is like a commission without pay. But also my child is a good test subject for my work, because they will tell me if I do something wrong or they don't like it. So honest feedback is available when you do something for your family. At least kids. Probably the rest will say they like it even if they don't. Have you made some pumpkin carving this year? I don't know how widely pumpkin carving is done, but I think it has picked up in Finland, at least in recent years. There's like pumpkin farms that are having like Halloween events, and those were non-existent when I was a child, so it was not an option. But these days, they, even in Finland, of course in Ireland, pumpkin carving is a huge thing. And though I heard that you should actually be carving, was it turnips? Like that's the actual like old tradition, is to carve a turnip. I don't know if that's true, so take it with a grain of salt. But I saw it somewhere, like that's the old tradition. So now we have at our yard a couple of traditional pumpkins and one Stevie Nicks pumpkin. Which is great though. A little bit something different. I think we did them maybe a bit too early, because they are a little bit molded at the moment, but they only have to last until tomorrow, so I think it's fine. And they are outside, because I can't stand anything molded or bad smelling vegetables inside the house. Scraps or such. Now we are closing in this petal of the flower. So soon we are done with pink altogether, which will be replaced with a lot of black. Let's tighten that up a bit. There's our white. I also would like to know if you have something very, 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 very good ideas as Christmas presents for those people who are not in your immediate family. If you would like to like make them something by yourself, what are you making? I feel like I'm always doing some dishcloths and stuff like that, but not everyone likes them. So I've been wondering if I could do something different this year. This is the last round. I'm gonna float the yellow because it's gonna be too long of a way. So I'm gonna start doing 2 yellow, one for the right side of the flower and one for the left side. Hobo blankets, scrap yarn from all my projects. Oh, I have a lot of scrap yarn. That would be, but it takes so long to make a blanket. Or do you have like a very bulky yarn which makes it maybe a bit easier? I haven't done many blankets. But a scrap yarn blanket would be, I think it would be a very good idea actually. We have actually orange or dark yellow, orange, which way you want to call it, coming in. Let's put that in there. Medium-sized yarn, but I play with all sizes and textures. I have to check that out, because that's actually a very, very, very good idea. Like I could make a project that is like not too complicated, so I could just, you know, do it while I do other things, mainly watch TV. Oh, I mixed my yarn. Let's fix it. Yeah, because I've made like dishcloths and I've made like those face scrubbing things. While they are good, I think, the usable items, I feel like it's a bit boring sometimes. And then I was thinking about maybe some pillow covers, but then you never know what people like. If they even use like pillows in general, throw pillows. But with blanket, I think it would be good. Like, even if you don't like it, you will probably come up with some use with it. And I could do like something like just like double crochet. Yeah. And I think even, do you like change the color whenever you come to the end of your scrap yarn and then just add another one, or do you make like a proper plan? If you use colors still, you can of course, because you use scraps, yeah. I have one like random scrap yarn project going on where I just randomly pick a color and I just, you know, close my eyes and pick one. So something like that could be nice with blanket as well. Where is it? I'm gonna show it. Where is my project? It's up there. Like this one. It's just all the colors, you know, all of them, and I just randomly pick them. This is made with sunburst, but I don't have enough for this to be a blanket. But like I love it. It's so crazy. It has all the colors I would probably never use in anything I would make, and then I don't, because I feel like I'm not the best when it comes to colors. I have my favorite colors and those all usually fit together like very well, but then there are colors I would probably never use, like this one. I don't know where I would use it, but with this it goes very well with the yellow. Who would think? And also like with the blue ones, these colors, I don't know where I would use them, but when you pick them randomly, they actually fit together very well. It's so crazy that it is lovely. And yeah, I can see that would work with the blanket as well. These yarns are from a color pack I ordered for different projects. And I just had those small yarn skeins lying around for like a year, and I was like, I have to do something with them. And this is what I started, but I only have yarn for like 100 of these, so it will be as well probably a wall hanging decoration to my living room, because my living room is too boring as per now. So I've decided that I will add a splash of color to it. But I also have like those acrylics yarns, which I could make a blanket, like maybe a hook size 5mm or at least 4.5, so it would work up a little bit faster. I imagine. And then we are attaching yellow. It's a bit of a joke, I know, but I'm a little bit like one of those millennial gray and beige persons, so I've been trying to learn how to use colors just in recent years. I still have colors I don't know how to use, and I don't really like, maybe personally like them too much, so it is affecting my ability to use them. Like blue is one of those. I said at the start of the stream, I am one of those crazy people that starts impossible projects. Also have a lot of unfinished projects. Because of that, I sometimes take a bit too big bite, but I'm also one of those persons that needs a challenge, so I very rarely do something like too simple, because then I don't have the motivation to finish it. But as a watching TV project, like, you know, I need those ones as well, that I can pay attention to the series I'm watching rather than the craft I'm doing. I'm usually doing socks, so I could easily swap that to be a blanket. I can't really do this and watch TV, it's not gonna work. But with something like that, I could do it. Come on. But I just have to have different levels of things, and like this, for example, is something. It's not hard, but you just have to make a little bit research before you start. And I'm one of those that jumps in the deep end right from the start. If it doesn't work out, I will just not do it. But this one seems to be working out. Yeah, for me, that would be double crochet. I could just dive into it. I know it's boring, but it's like, that's it for me. I don't even have to look. I could just do it. 6. And I haven't been crocheting for, how much did you say? Yeah, half double could work as well. Yeah, true. 34 years. I've been only crocheting like, I'm gonna say it's a little short of 20 years, but not much. 18 or 19. Something like that. I was in my teens when I started. Early teens. Until that, I was only doing knitting, but then there was like this wave of crochet thingies going around, and it became so popular that even the boys in our school were crocheting beanies and stuff like that. So yep, I think this is a hobby for many of us with the ADHD. But that's also what drives me to, you know, take the harder projects on. I think that's the mindset of someone with the ADHD, is that you need the motivational boost, and sometimes it is the the harder projects that drive you to do it. At least I believe so, that with how my mind works, it is just the way it is. I need to have some harder projects going on, so I feel like I am learning something while I'm doing it. And it's also the hyper focus that makes me go tapestry crochet this week, and maybe next week I'm doing amigurumis. Full blast. And then that is also why sometimes I take breaks, longer breaks, like a couple of weeks I don't touch the hook at all, because I don't do this if I don't feel like I want to do it, because then it will kill my passion for the craft for like weeks to come, maybe months. And also the reason why I don't do this stuff for sale, because it is impossible for me to actually repeat the things I'm doing. I don't want to do the same things multiple times. I do commissions if they are one of a kind. That's like the rule of thumb for me. But it helps a lot. It has helped me a lot that I have a hobby like this that allows my brain to just focus on something like this rather than life itself. Because I need that deep focus to relax. Yep, like meditation, absolutely. And it's also like, I like it that it's so easy access. You know, if I feel like everything is going too crazy, everything is moving 1,000 miles in different direction at the same time, I can just pick up whatever is the project I'm doing at the moment and just do one row or one round or whatever is needed and then move on. And I really like it. And one of my favorite things about crochet is that even though you've done it for tens of years, you can still learn something new. All the time. All the time. Like, I've never done a tapestry before. And I could just, you know, look it up. Some YouTube videos and tutorials. And it's a completely new thing. And now I know how to do it. It's like, it's crazy, but I love it. I've also been thinking about maybe diving into Tunisian crochet lately, because those videos have popped up in my feed as well, and it looks very interesting. I've never done anything like that either, but I'm happy to test it out as well. Did you come make this pattern? Yeah, I did make this pattern myself. I used the logo of the band this is about as a framework to what I'm doing, and then I of course had to transfer it to pixels and the pixels into colors, and then I had to fix it multiple ways. I lost my scissors again, oh my god. To change the pixel work in a way that it will work with a crochet. So I made a lot of test batches because I wanted to see which style of tapestry would fit this particular project. So I made a lot of those like 10 times 10 centimeter test patches before I ended up with this style of tapestry because it fit it the best. But the process was almost too boring to finish, but because I promised to do this, I did. I can show you the... I used a stitch fiddle at the end because it is telling you I chose the yarn, and then it was telling me the best colors. I changed some of them, but it's very good, or the best available. It's not very good, to be honest, but it's the best available software too, because they have a lot of yarn in their files, so you can just pick your yarn and it will show the colors they have. It's not perfect, but it was better than to do it all by hand from start to finish. But it took a lot of like manual labor to get the stitches in right places within the picture. But I know a lot of people sell these, so you get in Etsy. There was a lot of like pixel art you can just purchase if you're not about to make it yourself, if you feel like you can't do it, but I'm pretty sure anyone can. Just take some time. So I have like here in front of me on my computer and my views, haha. I have water outside my... Nico Moonstone, thank you for the subscription. I also have a Halloween themed subscription sounds. Thank you, CP. But I do have to tell you that I may be the most unorganized person alive, and my family could confirm that any minute when it comes to anything else except yarn. So yarn is my like... Yarn is always in order. Yarn shelf, always in order. Everything else, never in order. So as you can see, everything is organized in boxes and like everything is correctly, but you don't see the other side of my room, which is piles of clothes and unmade bed. So, but I will take this compliment. I will take it. But yeah, I do have the grid here, so it's easy to follow, and the stitch fiddle has like progress bar where you can see where you're going. You can use this for basically any color work you're ever doing. So one square is one stitch. You can use it to corner or any other method you're doing. So it's just, it is very easy to use. The only thing is that you of course have to come up with the design or buy a design you're gonna do. But it's not really hard. But what I am doing is a tapestry, and the tapestry is, I can make this a little bit smaller so you can see what it's gonna be at the end. I wonder if this is small enough. It's gonna be this one. So it's like round with a lot of flowers. And we are currently in row 120 out of 300, so there's quite a lot to do. And as I said, we are moving on to a section where we will only have black and white and yellow, so it will be very boring, but then we will have flowers again at the top section. And yeah, so far so good. And let me show you the current progress. It doesn't kind of fit the picture. But here it is, the start of the work. I know, it does look amazing, and I'm surprising myself with it every day. And it's not a lie, it's my first one. So it's actually I'm a living proof that you can do it. It's my first tapestry work ever, and it is looking amazing, so anyone can do this. I promise. If I can, you can. Oh, are we making one more round? I think we are. What is the time? Oh, it's a bit late. Yeah, please, give it a try. And maybe... well, I will tell you that choose a big enough project that it will pique your interest. But in general, someone could start the tapestry with something a bit smaller, like a... you know, something like this. A bit smaller. Like maybe a coaster or something like that, or a towel. Go big or go home. I know. that's like my motto. That's what I go by. And sometimes it ends up with unfinished project, but that's fine. At least you tried. But I haven't done any small projects, but when I was looking for the instructions, videos and inspirations and how to do this, I saw a lot of videos that had like smaller things like coasters, towels, and maybe just a part of a jumper or something you're doing where you are applying color work. Also bags, a lot of bags were done with this. And what was the other ones I saw? I like a smaller tapestry pieces that were done with it. And yep, doesn't have to be this big, doesn't have to be 80,000 stitches. You can go with a bit less. Absolutely do send me pictures. I am very grateful for any pictures and any inspiration available for any project. And we will do a couple of knots here so we don't end up losing the yarns. End up losing the yarns. But it's a brilliant project to do, and like if you have room in your home, like I have way too plain walls within my home. We are renting, and I feel like I don't want to put too much effort in this house because we are renting. And therefore I have barely anything on my walls. Some generic, even ugly art is going around, which my landlord has added before we moved in, and some of those I already removed to be stored deep in our storage room, so I don't have to look at them. That yarn will stay. And let me see my shifts. I think I'll be back. I have a lot of work because I took those extra shifts for a better Christmas pay, as you might think. Let me see. I think we'll be back on Sunday, but I will check that out before I promise too much. Yes, we'll be back on Sunday with another live, and if I have energy there will be video in between. Not necessarily, but might be. And yeah, please follow, subscribe if you haven't already, so you get notified when I'm back on it. I have too much yarn going all around this. And then we will continue this project, which is the main project I'm doing at the moment because I want it to be ready for Christmas. which is, I know it's far away, but if you know a little bit about me, you know that there might be some breaks, or I might change the project to keep up the interest, so I do have to have enough time to finish it. Thank you for being here, and you are very welcome to join us again. And the light is going out, you know, it's going to be dark, and I have a light here, so it makes me look very dark. I'm sorry for that. And if you didn't subscribe already, I'll be here on Sunday, so you get notified when you subscribe, bell notification, all that jazz, you know. And also TikTok. It was very nice to talk with you, and I hope to see you again. And thank you for your kind